Hey, I'm Matt Matty. Thanks so much for joining me for today's devotional. We've got a brand new devotional series we're going through from the devotional You Are Not Alone. And today is day 1 in the devotional, You're Not Alone When You're Lost. When I was in high school, I had an opportunity to travel over to Europe multiple times, just about every summer from my freshman year through my senior year, to go over and teach kids about the Bible and also how to play softball. Now, I was traveling home on one of those trips. Had a great 2 weeks spending time there ministering in the church, and I was riding a train from Luxembourg, the country I was in, to Germany, the country I was going to fly out of. So I went from Luxembourg to Frankfurt, Germany on this train, and I got off at the wrong train stop. I realized all of a sudden I was lost in the wrong place at the wrong time. I was somewhere I wasn't supposed to be. How was I going to get back home? If you've ever been lost, if you've ever had this sense of no bearing around your surroundings, it can cause us to be panicked and be frustrated and upset. There's a scene from one of my favorite movies as a kid, from the movie Hook, where Robin Williams plays an aged businessman named Peter Panning. And if you remember the movie, it's all about him being present and getting back to having a healthy rhythm of life and really getting back in touch with his family and back in touch with himself as Peter Pan. And so Peter Panning, or Peter Pan, Robin Williams, he goes back to Never Never Land, and his son has been kidnapped by Dustin Hoffman, who plays Captain Hook. And there's one scene in the movie where Captain Hook is having Jack play baseball, and just like I had played baseball in Luxembourg, and he's teaching his pirate baddies how to play baseball. And so Jack is up to bat, and so Hook calls him Jackie, and trying to woo him and treat him as the son that Hook never had, and give him the sense of a father, of replacing Peter Panning, replacing Robin Williams. And so he's trying to kind of pull him away and try to get back at Peter Pan. Well, one part, as Jack is up to bat, the pirates are in the stands with billboards, these little signs, and they say, "Run home, Jack. Run home, Jack." And so Dustin Hoffman's character looks and he says, "No, no, no, you've got it all backwards. It's home run, Jack, home run, Jack." But as Jack looks up in the stands and sees that phrase, "Run home, Jack," there's something that is a cue for him. It pricks his conscience, and he starts thinking about missing home and missing his family, missing his father. And so it's at that moment in the movie that there's kind of a turn, a twist there. But there's something in all of us, whether for me being lost in a foreign city or from a scene in a movie, there's this sense, this longing for home where we want to be found. One psalmist writes, "But as for me, I almost lost my footing. My feet were slipping. I was almost gone." Psalm 73 verse 2. David writes these words. He says, "My heart is sick, withered like grass. I have lost my appetite." Have you ever been so hungry, or so lost, I should say, that you weren't hungry anymore, where you lost your appetite? David pens these words, "Make me walk along the paths of your commands, for that is where my happiness is found." Psalm 119, verse 35. Just like a coach brings his team back to the fundamentals, or a commander in an army brings the soldiers back in line and gives them the marching orders to move forward, David says, it's in following God's direction that I find my way back home. I find my way back to God. And so he gives us this incredible insight in Psalm 139. Listen to these words in Psalm 139, verses 7 through 12. He says, "I can never escape from your spirit. I can never get away from your presence. If I go to heaven, you're there. If I go to the grave, you're there. If I ride the wings of the morning, even there, you are with me. Your hand will guide me. Your strength will support me. I could ask the darkness to hide me and the light around me to become night. But even in darkness, I cannot hide from you. To you, the night shines as bright as day, and darkness and light are the same to you." So no matter where you are, no matter what you're going through, no matter how far you may feel from God, those times when you feel lost, that God is ever and always near and present. Here's the deal. The rest of my story, I did find my way back home. Otherwise, this devotional may be in German. But the encouragement for you is, no matter how far you are from God, that He still sees you and He still knows you. That God's eye is upon you. And the encouragement from Psalm 139 is this: no matter how far you go, no matter how lost you may be, God is ever and always there, pursuing you and pursuing me. Today's devotional thought is taken from Psalm 139, verses 1 through 12. Thanks for watching.